So one of the reasons I really enjoy YouTube is because I'm able to share stories of lessons that I learned personally and things that I've experienced in my life. And I genuinely believe that they will help somebody else on the same journey or a journey similar to mine. And I was thinking a couple of minutes ago, I remember about 6 months into a job that I have, right? I worked there before I invested into the company, and we used to have like these events, and the event we were able to get like pretty large tips on the service that we provided. So I remember one time I was pretty young. I remember I think it was like a $75 tip and $50 maybe, $50 or $75. And in hindsight, it's not that much money, but at the moment it was. And my boss at the time, she had told me, she said, we don't have the cash to be able to give you your tip right now, so we'll give you the tip at a later date. So I didn't really say anything at the moment, but I did feel internally upset. And in my head at the time, the reasoning was, well, I show up well before the time starts. I'm a great coach. I do like pretty much I checked off all the boxes. Like I'm going above and beyond to make sure I deliver the best product possible. So in my head, well, why wouldn't you make sure that you deliver the best thing possible for your employees? This was my reasoning at the time, so that your employees would be able to keep giving you the best that they have, right? And looking back on that, she actually ended up giving me the tip that day. She was able to get it. I think she actually got it from her own purse. Anyway, so looking back on that, I'm like, it's very interesting because I think a lot of people might have the same thought, but now I have a lot more than I had then. And part of my mentality has changed because is the reason that you're doing everything that you're doing, showing up on time, being the best, putting your best product out there, and all these things, are you doing it solely for the money? Because if you're doing it solely for the money, then you're going to be left very unfulfilled, right? And instead of doing those things for the money, you should be doing them simply for the impact that you have on people's lives, and simply for being able to deliver the best product possible. And the money from that alone will flow. However, if you don't get what you believe that you should get, right, for the work that you give at that moment, and you become upset, then you need to reevaluate why you're doing what you're doing. Because the reward is not the money. The reward is the lives that you impact and the people that you're able to help and the value you're able to give. Simple. Because the money is just a physical representation of that value, right? But you can always make more. The more value you provide and the more lives that you impact, the more money comes from that. So your goal should never be about how much I can make in this quarter or how I can triple your goal and how you can make your bottom line bigger, even though it's important in a way because in our world a lot of things run on money, but money is just a representation of the value you provide. So Instead of focusing on the money, you should focus on the value, because the more the value that you can provide, the cleaner you can get with the lines, and the more people you can reach out to, and the more relatable and the better that you become in those little tiny details, where they say the devil's in the details. The better you get at the details, and the more you focus on doing one thing extremely well, the money ends up coming anyway. Because you can't make more money by having money. You can make more money by being more valuable. So that's one thing I really thought about, and I was like, wow, just being able, growing from that person, and seeing the change in mindset, and now that I have a lot more, it's just so interesting to see the change in mindset, because at the time I had less and my focus was the money, but now I have more and my focus is the value that I can provide, not only to myself but to the people around me. Money is not valuable in itself. It's just not. If I had $100 million but I didn't have the mindset, I wouldn't know what to do with the 100 million. It would not be valuable. But if I had the mindset and I had the 100 million, now I can turn it to 200 million. Now I can turn it to 300 million. So is it the money that you want, or is it the mindset? Which one is the most valuable? And which one do you really want to focus and hone in on? Anybody, I could give anybody $100 million. But it takes somebody super special that I can give them 100 million and they could turn it to 200 million. They could turn it to 300 million, 400, a billion. Focus on value.